Are the Boston Celtics responsible for Luka Doncic to be traded away from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers? If you guys were like me, you got this tweet from Shams Charania in the middle of the night, and you're thinking, did Shams get hacked? Is this real? Did the Dallas Mavericks really just trade away Luka Doncic? And then you have to start thinking, well, interesting that the last time they were on a big stage, which was this year, so that's even crazier, was against the Boston Celtics. And I guess that just wasn't enough for Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks moving forward to put their faith in Luka Doncic, which once again is unreal. Here is a trade that broke the internet. Shams Charania tweeted this out late at night saying, yes, this is real. The Mavericks receive Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and just one first-round pick, which is insane to me. I think that is not enough for getting Luka Doncic, a top 5 player in the NBA. The Lakers get Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, and Luka Doncic, and then the Utah Jazz are kind of just in here with a couple of draft picks as well. This trade is absolutely unreal, and I cannot believe the Dallas Mavericks did this, but also pulled this off, to say the least. And so you're probably thinking, Allie, how does this have anything to do with the Boston Celtics? Well, we're going to break that down here in just a second, but I think this question is pretty reasonable. Who won this trade? Type M for Mavericks, type L for Lakers, and let me know in the comment section down below if you truly think that this was better for the Mavericks or better for the Lakers. And the reason why this has something to do with the Boston Celtics is because look at the score. This is the score of Game 5 of the NBA Finals, June 17th, 2024, when the Boston Celtics hung up banner 18 and they were champions. 106-88. They just made it to the finals. So how could Luka Doncic lead the Dallas Mavericks? Well, it's because of this team right here. The Boston Celtics. Luka did not play great in the NBA Finals, which is saying a lot because he did put up majority of the Mavericks' points, but it wasn't necessarily the points and the offense that the Dallas Mavericks were worried about. It was the defense. I believe that defense wins championships. Well, obviously, they didn't win the championship with Luka Doncic at the forefront. I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now, and we're built to win in the future. So let's take you back a little bit here to that Game 5 and Game 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the NBA Finals. Luka Doncic, 30 points, 32, 27, 29, 28. We never questioned the offensive abilities of Luka Doncic. And then, when you got Nico Harris out here saying his defensive effort wasn't really there, keep this with a grain of salt. The only reason why his defensive rating was phenomenal in the Game 4 is because the Boston Celtics pretty much just said, you know what, this is going to be our rest. We're going to take it home. We're going to win in Boston in front of our fans. Game 3, he fouls out in the middle of the fourth quarter. And that was a pretty close game. That was probably the game you needed to change the narrative and go 2-2 or up 2-1. Whatever it was. You went down 3-0. So his defensive rating really wasn't fantastic through those games because Luka Doncic was just getting worked around. He just didn't have the power to stop Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, and others to really pull them to the finals and win. And then Anthony Davis, what they're now getting here in Dallas is probably one of the best defensive players in the NBA when he's fully healthy. That's the only thing is that, well, he's a little bit older, a lot older than Luka Doncic, and he has been dealing a bit with injuries. But they clearly are trading for Anthony Davis because they want his defense, which is what Luka Doncic really couldn't provide going up against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. I'm not saying that's why they lost, but if there was one thing that Boston really showcased, it was their offensive abilities. And there really wasn't a match to it with their star player in Luka, who also has been injured and has not played since December of this previous season and is looking to make his return after the NBA All-Star break. Did the Celtics cause Luka's trade? Did the Celtics pretty much show that Luka could not take this team to a championship going up against a team that plays phenomenal offense and defense? Type Y for yes, type N for no if you guys truly think Celtics may have shown Nico Harrison a little bit something about his future player, which is Luka Doncic. What does this mean for Boston moving forward now that Luka is out to another Western Conference team, the Los Angeles Lakers, and Anthony Davis is now in with the Mavericks? We're going to break that down here in just a moment, but first, I want to go ahead and tell you guys about our sponsor on today's show, which, of course, is PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I play PrizePicks every single game day, and I want you guys to go on ahead and play it with me. All you guys have to do is just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Simple as that. Up to 1,000 times your cash. If you guys want to test out your skills and go on ahead and download the PrizePicks app, let me tell you about a little helpful hint here, all right? Right now, PrizePicks is giving away a free pick for the big game. Do you guys think Patty Mahomes will have at least one passing yard? You should. That means you automatically win. It is truly that simple. So I went on ahead and made my PrizePicks for the big game already. I'm going to take that Patrick Mahomes free square. I'm going to go on ahead and take Saquon Barkley to have more than 114.5 rushing yards, and give me Jalen Hurts to have more than at least one rushing and receiving touchdown. These are my PrizePicks. If you guys want to go on ahead and make yours, feel free to do so. Just go on ahead and download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. I think all in all, this is just great news for the Boston Celtics. I think that now that you have Luka Doncic out on the West Coast playing for the Lakers, I think that's a better situation for Luka moving forward, and I think Anthony Davis is going to be better in Dallas for the defense. The only thing is, when you switch these two players, the Dallas Mavericks gave up their playmaker in Luka. Well, now you have a playmaker in Los Angeles with LeBron James. How are Luka and LeBron going to be able to share the ball like that? And then the same thing with the Dallas Mavericks. How are you going to say you're concerned with Luka's health, and then you go and trade for Anthony Davis, who can't play a full season? That's why it's good for Boston. This seems like it really has a lot of holes plugging into it. And I know this for sure. The Mavericks aren't really a threat anymore with Anthony Davis. They got rid of their #1 playmaker. However, Anthony Davis did just drop recently 24 points on the Boston Celtics when they did play them in LA. But the Lakers just lost their best center. Yes, they picked up Luka, but if there's one thing the Boston Celtics have taught us is that it takes a certain type of coach like Joe Mazzulla to be able to work with this many superstars and not overshadow. Jaylen Brown can still score 28 points tonight. Jason Tatum can still score 28 points tonight. He has found a way to have these 5 superstars all flow and work together, whereas now with the Los Angeles Lakers, you just lost AD, you brought in Luka Doncic, and you have JJ Redick, a first-year NBA head coach, going to try and figure out how to give LeBron James the ball, but also Luka Doncic the ball. Which means Boston may not need to look at the Mavericks or the Lakers as a threat this year, and they wouldn't even look at it as a threat until the NBA Finals. We weren't going to see Luka in a 7-game series until the NBA Finals if he was on the Mavericks. Now we're still not going to see him, and how this is going to play out until the NBA Finals if the Celtics do make it there, and they will happen to face either the Lakers or the Mavericks. I think this is ultimately a better deal for Boston, because now they just have to see how this is going to unfold. They still know how to play against Luka. They still know how to play against AD. Now you just have to figure out what this will look like in their new systems. Plus, I think the cherry on top of all this, you can't tell me Boston doesn't have the last laugh of a Luka Doncic and a Mavericks jersey in the NBA Finals. If this is the last time he'll ever play in Dallas, he would never come back or anything like that, a trade in the future, Boston sent Luka to the Lakers by winning the NBA championship. Yeah, it might be fabricated. It might be a little bit more of a rumor than I would like, but it's kind of cool to think about it. Hey, they took him to the finals. Luka took the Mavericks to the finals, but just couldn't get the job done against who? The Boston Celtics. Kind of feels pretty good to say. I don't know. But in all honesty, we're going to have to wait and see how this trade is going to break out, because this is one of the biggest blockbuster trades I have seen in a very very long time. But the Boston Celtics won't have to worry about it until possibly the NBA Finals. Does this trade help Boston? Comment why not in the comment section down below. And if you guys haven't already, go on ahead, do one thing for me. Hit that sub button on today's video. If you guys made it this far, you clearly like what you see. Go on ahead, hit that sub button for me. And as always, go Celtics.